So there's a funny way to say inevitably it's all about Mariah. If you saw the last video that I made, I would talk about this subject in this very video, and Slopo AA is delivering you, it's giving you exactly what you expect because I'm a man of my word. Here we are here to talk about Mariah May now joining WWE, now under the NXT umbrella. Or as now I just heard they just call her Blake Moray. Monroe. So yeah, I'm going to talk about how we got to this point, what I thought about the debut itself, and what I think about the name changes. We're here to talk about all that and more. So, yeah. So, Mariah May, Blake Moray, and now WWE NXT. How did we get to? So, back in March, we saw Mariah May had her last AEW match with Tony Storm at Revolution. It was truly indeed a Hollywood ending. I talk about the match and nauseously. So if you go back and watch my video, I talk pretty extensively of how that Hollywood ended, how they made the most time out of what they had, and it was brutal, it wasn't violent, it was insane. Definitely one of the craziest matches we have seen this year. And it really was a perfect Hollywood ending for that story and for Mariah May's character AEW. And I thought and when the rumors started to spread, almost not a minute, but pretty much weeks after this, I thought. Because when I started to hear the rumors about it, I really wasn't really sure about it. Because when you look back at her run at AEW, like, she has had such a successful one. And you cannot say that Tony can fumble Mariah. As you may think, oh, he fumbled with the likes of like Ricky Starks or Miro or Malachi Black, not all of them WWE. Well, you may think he may fumble with all those traits. You can't say the same trait about Mariah because he made sure to get everything he can out of Mariah. Like, out of that Mariah May character, that Mariah May performer. Like, you can't say that run was anything but a success. Like, she came in, she had pretty much the run of her life. Like, she was in the tips of the best woman story that AEW has ever told. Had a three match series with Tony Storm. A feud that honestly has elevated both of those women to such a high level now. Like, Tony Storm is as the babyface champion is much more over now than arguably than she was during the last reign. And Mariah has now been propelled to much higher status in wrestling now. That that she's pretty much a top girl everywhere else she's going to go at this point. And for that reason, I thought I wouldn't see much of a point of her leaving because of how so much success he has had with this one at AEW. But then again, with that Hollywood ending, how really was of a perfect ending that was. It felt like the time will be almost be right for Mariah, man. And apparently, like, it's been her dream. And, I mean, if you look back to some of the older stuff of Mariah, like, I myself, like, was one of her early followers on YouTube back in, like, 2017. And she almost uploaded almost regularly talking about WWE, the product of the wrestlers. And I, like, probably a lot of people saw her during those days. And to think of it being her dream and doing all this stuff all around the world and getting her run with AEW and the success that she had, it almost felt like the timing was right. And I was just curious of if and when she will be in. And as months went by, it seems like the possibility got more likelier and likelier. And then it was official on June 3rd, 2025 on the NXT. I'm not mostly a follower of NXT. I didn't even watch this show when it happened. I picked it up as soon as I watched it on Twitter. And there she was around back when the late had her segment with JCJ, new NXT Women's Champion, and and she did they cut up promo. And then a bunch of women came out. They started fight. Then the lights started to go black. The full PC arena went dark, and then the lights back on, but not in the arena, but on Mariah May. Splatter in all spotlight. And then she said she's finally alright. And then she said she will be the next NXT Women's Champion. You can call her that. And I will say the way that they did it was actually kind of clever in that while it kind of felt... Because I feel like with NXT, they almost have, like, some pattern where they debut a certain someone. Because they will have... Like, you saw when I talked about Ricky Starks, how he came out for Out in the Crowd. And I think... I'm certain they have other reviews that are like similar for coming out of the crowd and then cut a promo or attack someone. While it kind of felt generic in that sense, it kind of had its own spark to it because Mariah was standing on top of something on the PC arena. She had a full spotlight around her, like visually the presentation of it was really well done for her debut. And I think that's what made it a well done debut on that. Have having a cut up simple promo, and then immediately say she's going for the title. I guess now we know why JC Jane became the NXT Women's Champion. Was so inevitably she can probably drop it to Mariah May. It's probably where May goes. But yeah, that debut of Mariah in NXT when it happened, I thought was really well done. And then the name change, as you saw NXT as the title. This recording happened pretty much a week ago. By the time you're watching this, it would have been a week ago. And then the name change, the video package, very Sabrina carpeted video inspired, and there she was, the name change, Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe. To be quite frank, I wasn't really feeling it when when I first saw it, I wasn't feeling it. But then I thought maybe kind of fits it, and then come to find out that she had her niece that is called like that. And the more I started to hear them, the more I come around with it. So the name change isn't as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, so that's kind of my quick thoughts on it because it just happened, and Mariah made WWE what it means for her. With like I said, with her doing crossing all around the world wrestling in many places, having that run and be successful in that her run in AEW. This is the chance for Mariah to really elevate herself even more than she already has. And I think if it all goes well, like she can be a superstar in that making for that company if they use their cards right for her. And I think what also means is like that run in AEW and her match with Tony Storm, that Hollywood and the Revolution, has a whole nother new specialness because it really was a Hollywood ending. Because now Mariah has went onto the deep end with a brand new name, brand new world that she is on. And this could be a whole lot of new beginnings for her in her career in pro wrestling. So, and thinking about when I first saw her talking about WWE YouTube videos, and she even was a photographer for their merchandise website all those years ago, and seeing her living out and her being happy being here in WWE, you just, it's so great to see great things happen to good people, you know? That's what I kind of feel about Mariah May, Blake Monroe in WWE. So, yeah, that's kind of my pretty much thoughts on this whole thing, and I hope great things for her in the future. So, yeah. So, like this video if you haven't, subscribe. Tell me what you think about Mariah May, Blake Monroe in WWE in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Martinez, and I approve this message.